Hey everybody, welcome to Pathway Online. You're probably wondering, why in the world am I standing in front of a sewing shop? And maybe wondering why in the world I'm carrying a sewing kit. That's right, this is my sewing kit. See, inside I have some needles, I have thread, and a whole lot of other sewing supplies. See, the reason why I'm doing this, and the reason why I'm here, is because it reminds me of a lot of the person we're going to be talking about today in our story. You see, this lady did a lot of sewing in her life, and we're going to learn about what she did with it and how amazing it really was. So I hope you're ready. Let's stand up and let's worship together.
I'm reading my B.I.B. early, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. I'm reading my B.I.B. early, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, whoa. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, you opened up the door. You opened up the door.
Exploring Acts.
Way back in the Bible. Not that far back. Not that far back. Not that far back. Right after Jesus died for us and came back to life. Yeah, right after that. Jesus' followers had grown from just a few to thousands. They even moved from city to city. One of their leaders was one of Jesus' original 12 disciples. You may have heard of him. His name was Peter. He traveled around preaching and teaching the people how to live and love just like Jesus. In the city of Joppa lived a believer named Tabitha. She was always doing kind things for others and helping the poor. She showed others God's love by making clothes for people who needed them. But she got sick and died. Her friends prepared her body to be buried and laid her in an upstairs room until her funeral. But then they heard Peter was nearby. They begged Peter to come as fast as he could. As soon as Peter arrived in Joppa, he came to the upstairs room. The room was filled with women who were crying and showing Peter the coats and other clothes Tabitha had made for them. They told Peter how her kindness had blessed all of them so much. Peter asked everyone to leave the room. He got on his knees and prayed. Then he said, "Get up, Tabitha." And she opened her eyes. When she saw Peter, she sat up. Peter gave Tabitha his hand and helped her up. Then he called in the widows and all the believers, and he showed her to them, alive. The news spread through the whole town. Many people believed in Jesus because of the miracle of Tabitha's coming back to life. But many had already come to know Jesus because of the way she lived, loved, and served others. We can follow Tabitha's example by living and loving like she did.
Oh, hello there, dearies. How are you today? What? Are you admiring my beautiful shawl? Yes, I did make it. I simply love to make beautiful things. And you know what makes making beautiful things so much more fun? My Dorcas sewing machine. It is the most amazing sewing machine ever. What? The name sounds familiar, you say? Yes, it does. It is named after Dorcas in the book of Acts from the Bible. You know, that lady who loved to help people. She spent her life helping the poor and the needy. This sewing machine makes sewing so much more fun. This 1824 model of mine is so fast and efficient. The threads never get tangled, and it is super quiet. It is absolutely beautiful as well, as you can see. So it's not just beautiful to leave out in your parlor, it adds to your decor, and it is a wonderful conversation piece. And you know what my favorite thing about this sewing machine is? Well, it's its name. Every time I use my Dorcas sewing machine, I remember how important it is to reach out and help those around me. So you might be wondering, how can you get your own beautiful Dorcas sewing machine? Why, just dial the number you see on the screen. Don't wait. Call right now, order your machine, and we'll throw in one of these lovely shawls that I have made, and it can help you remember to help those around you, just like Dorcas.
Welcome back. So let's recap our story for a moment. We have a lady named Dorcas, or Tabitha, who lived in the town of Joppa, and she used her talents and abilities to help all the people around who were poor and needy. Unfortunately, one day she got sick and then she died. The whole group of people that she helped came to her home and mourned together. Then Peter shows up, and through Peter, God raises Dorcas from the dead, and it's all for God's glory. And through that, a lot more people in the town of Joppa came to know Jesus as their Savior. Isn't that great? I want to share with you our Bible verse for today. It's 1 John 3:18. It says this, "Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with action and truth." Check out this song.
What's the deal? We've got to learn to be for real. So I'm going to teach you a little song. It goes like this. Dear children, let us not love with words, or tongue, but with action, and in truth. 1 John 3:18. NIV. Help us say, dear children, let us not love with words, or tongue, but with action, and in truth. 1 John found. First John, that's the 3:18 NIV. Now play this groove just a little while longer. That's it, yeah. Just a little while longer. I mean, because this verse in the Bible is trying to remind us Christians that we've got to be for real. I mean, what's the deal living all crazy and talking about Jesus all the time? We just got to be for real. Okay, I know you didn't ask for all that, but just give me 5 more seconds. Bring the bass back in. Yeah, bring it in by right now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, 5 seconds then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, today we talked about Dorcas and how she was always helping those around her in need. But what does that mean for me? And what does that mean for you? Well, we've got a couple of questions that we would like for you to discuss with your family. The first one is, what gifts, talents, and abilities do you have? So take a minute, hit the pause button, and discuss that with your family.
What people in our area are in need? Now, I'm not talking about specific people, don't name names, but what kind of people? Discuss that as a family.
Okay, so let's go back to that first question. What gifts, talents, and abilities did you name that you have? So now let's think about those and think about the people we just named who are in need. How can you use your gifts, talents, and abilities to help the people around you that are in need? Thank you so much for joining us for Pathway Online today. We hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you next week.